DC Comics has a new Titans team, and I'm genuinely excited about it. The Titans have needed a shakeup for a really long time, and I mean a really long time, and I'm glad it's finally happening. Despite being DC's second most popular superhero team, the Titans have struggled to stay relevant in modern comics. It feels like they've been coasting on the popularity of the New Titans fund in the 80s and the Teen Titans show from the early 2000s. The Titans have become obsessed with recreating the past instead of being truly innovative, which is why I'm so glad they're finally trying something new. Let's dig into who the new Titans are and the potential of this golden opportunity to move the team forward. I've always believed that the Titans' lack of relevance in the modern era comes from their reluctance to truly innovate. I also want to clarify that this is entirely about the Titans and not the Teen Titans. A lot of people treat them as interchangeable, but they haven't been that for the past 30 years or so. The new Teen Titans in the 80s ruled the comic world. For a time, they were the most popular superhero team in all of comics. Unfortunately, they weren't able to maintain that momentum. The 90s brought a modestly successful but ultimately average Titans run after some earlier failures. In the early 2000s, the Titans evolved into the Outsiders, which was actually pretty fun. But ever since then, they have struggled to find a clear purpose for the team. For the past 20 years, instead of introducing new members or building new villains, DC has leaned heavily on repetition for the Titans. The same villains keep returning, and the roster is almost always some variation of the Fab Five, or more commonly, the original seven from the new Teen Titans era. Of course, they were erased from existence for a few years, and there was this one time where they tried a new roster, but that happened after the Heroes in Crisis controversy and the Rick Grayson saga, which understandably dampened any enthusiasm in the Titans. What makes this so disappointing is that despite reusing the same characters, none of them seem to experience any sort of meaningful character development. I genuinely can't think of a single significant character development for Raven, Beast Boy, Starfire, or Donna Troy in the past 20 years. That's why I'm so glad that they're finally revamping the Titans. It's not because I dislike these characters, I love them, I just want them to be used better. While it does suck that characters like Roy Harper or Donna Troy might not appear for a while, I think it's a necessary sacrifice for the greater good of the team. My hope is that DC uses this opportunity to place these characters outside of the Titans and let them grow in new environments. Let Raven join Justice League Dark. Let Starfire be part of a different space superhero team. Maybe Beast Boy can spend some time with the Doom Patrol again. Maybe Donna Troy and Roy Harper can join some new superhero teams that have nothing to do with the Titans. Maybe even the Justice League. This should be the perfect chance to take these characters in new directions and allow them to shine outside their comfort zones. The Titans have kept these characters in a loop for far too long. So, who are the new Titans? First up is Stephanie Brown, also known as Batgirl or Spoiler. Her inclusion is long overdue. I've always wanted a Batgirl on the Titans, and I'm honestly surprised it took this long. DC has struggled in recent years to find a consistent role for Stephanie, so putting her on the Titans is a fantastic move. She's one of my favorite characters, and taking her out of Gotham to interact with a wider range of heroes should feel refreshing. While it hasn't been explicitly confirmed, it seems like she may take on a leadership role or at least share it with Nightwing. That would feel like a well earned acknowledgement of her growth as a character, and I can't wait to see it. Next is John Kent as Superman. He's a character who has been surrounded by controversy ever since he was aged up, and DC has clearly struggled to define his role. I still don't understand why they chose to make him an adult. It felt unnecessary then, and it still feels unnecessary. But it happened, so we might as well see what can be done with it. Although he briefly worked with the Secret Six, this is really John's first time being part of a proper superhero team. Surrounding him with characters who can challenge or balance his straightforward personality could open up new storytelling opportunities. I do hope they avoid pushing him into any romance for now. Let John establish a purpose that isn't tied to him being the second Superman. The third member is Yara Flor, also known as Wonder Girl. She was incredibly well received when she debuted, but that momentum quickly faded and she ended up stuck in comic limbo. I still question whether her creation was truly necessary. DC already has two Wonder Girls they barely use, so introducing a third felt excessive. Still, she's here now, so we might as well do something about it. Wonder Woman comics rarely give proper attention to the Wonder Girls. Donna Troy and Cassie Sandsmark found real growth within the Titans, and I'm hoping Yara Flor gets that same opportunity here. The fourth character is Red Devil, formerly Kid Devil, also known as Eddie Bloomberg. He's a more obscure character from the Teen Titans run in the early 2000s. He initially tried to become the sidekick of Blue Devil, but that relationship fell apart after Blue Devil betrayed him. Eddie eventually came into his own as part of the Teen Titans, evolving from Kid Devil into Red Devil. I really enjoyed his dynamic with Rose Wilson, aka Ravager, and he was a fun presence on the team back then. He died a hero, he was brought back during the New 52, he was killed off again, he then returned through some time travel shenanigans. It's messy, but that's comics for you. His inclusion here is a cool idea, and I'm excited to see what they can do with him. Fifth member is Terra. She's best known for betraying the Titans in the Judas Contract story. Out of everyone on this roster, she's probably the one I'm least interested in. I understand her importance to Titans history, but I've never fully grasped the appeal of the character or why DC keeps bringing her back. That said, if this run manages to make me care about Terra for the first time in probably ever, that alone would be a huge accomplishment. The sixth and final member is a brand new character named Eva. Right now, we know almost nothing about her. She appears to have phasing abilities or powers connected to technology, and she's referred to as the Daughter of Tomorrow. That's about it. She has a strong design, and if I'm not mistaken, she might be the first new character created specifically for the Titans in 20 or maybe even 30 years, which is kind of wild. That alone says a lot about how stagnant the team has been. Still, she seems promising, and I'm looking forward to learning more about her. At the moment, it feels like Nightwing and Cyborg will be the only returning members from the previous Titans lineup. Keeping a couple of veterans around is definitely a good call, even though I personally believe Donna Troy should have been one of them. I consider Donna Troy to be the central figure of the Titans. To me, she's the only truly replaceable member of the Titans, but Titans history has never really agreed with that idea. I want this one to succeed. I wanted to take risks. I wanted to introduce new villains instead of recycling the same ones. This isn't exactly the roster I would have chosen, but as someone who has been desperate for something different, I really can't complain. It feels like they're aiming for a character driven run, which is exactly what the Titans need. The best Titan stories have always focused on interpersonal relationships within the team. That's where they shine. I want to see new friendships, new romances, new mentor prodigy dynamics. There's a lot of potential with this team. The run began with New Titans issue 33, which was a satire poking fun at the repetitive storylines and cliches that have defined the team over the past 20 or 30 years. I found it surprisingly funny and oddly enjoyable. It's a bold way to start this run, but now the real test is whether the series can live up to that promise and actually deliver something transformative for the Titans. Titans have always been my favorite superhero team despite everything. I've been disappointed by one mediocre one after another for the past decade, so I really need this one to be good. I'm rooting for the creative team of Tate Bromwell and Sami Basri to make it happen. But regardless of how this one turns out, I hope DC finally understands that constantly repeating the same roster and the same storylines leads to stagnation and not success. Maybe this will be the first truly great Titans run in the past few decades. I guess time will tell.